Welcome to your context clues lesson. Your objective for this lesson is I will analyze and determine the meaning of unknown words using your context clues that the author has provided. Let's get started. Don't forget to write your name, the date, and this will go in the turn-in bin when you are done. Please make sure to follow along with me. What I do, you do. You need one color highlighter and your pencil and your headphones. Please make sure that you follow along with me and that you go at your own pace. The directions state, read each sentence and use the context clues to infer the meaning of the underlined word. Circle the answer that best gives its meaning. Let's get started. We first have to read the sentence to see how it's used. When I get nervous, I tend to mumble and talk too quickly. Therefore, I must learn how to enunciate my words. We need to highlight our context clues. This person tends to mumble or talk too quickly when they're nervous. And this is dealing with words, mumbling words, saying words quickly when they're nervous. So we need to figure out what the word enunciate means. So I want you to cross it out because you need to plug in. The strategy is, good readers know we have to ask ourselves, we need to read it 4 different times by plugging in the 4 possible meanings and then checking to see if it fits the context clues, if they're related. Like this, when I get nervous, I tend to mumble and talk too quickly. Therefore, I must learn how to restate my words. Are you going to restate your words, saying them again? Remember, the prefix RE means again. Are you going to pronounce your words, enlarge, or clear? When I get nervous, I tend to mumble and talk too quickly. Therefore, I learn how to clear my words. No, that doesn't fit our context clues of mumbling words and talking quickly. What about enlarge? You really can't enlarge words if you're speaking them. So it's not going to be enlarge, like making them bigger. It's either restating or pronounce. So let's double check by plugging it in. I must learn how to restate my words or pronounce my words. If you need to enunciate them since you talk really fast or you mumble them. Now, we're going to select pronounce. That is the best meaning. It matches the context clues that's related to them. We know that if you are mumbling, you have to pronounce them. If you're talking quickly, you're not pronouncing, so you need to. And it's dealing with words, so it's B. Number 2. The ominous clouds made us worry that a terrible storm would soon be here. I want you to get your highlighter, and I want you to highlight your context clues, which are terrible storm, clouds, and worry. Now, we know that the word ominous has something to do with worrying because these terrible storm clouds are coming. So after we highlight our context clues, good readers know that you have to go back and plug in your possible meanings for the word ominous. Your potential meanings are large, fluffy, dark, and frozen. Let's plug it in. The large clouds made us worry that a terrible storm would soon be here. Does large have anything to do with the terrible storm and how they're worried? The clouds cannot be large. Fluffy? Would fluffy clouds worry someone? The fluffy clouds made us worry that a terrible storm. Fluffy clouds are not a sign that you should be worried because a storm's coming. So fluffy is not the meaning for ominous. It's either dark or frozen. The dark clouds made us worry that a terrible storm would soon be here. Remember, our possible meaning has to match how the word is used based on the context clues. Terrible storm, worry, cloud. So dark is a maybe. Frozen. The frozen clouds made us worry that a terrible storm would soon be here. Frozen does not fit into the context clues, which are terrible storm, worry, or clouds. So bye, frozen. And our best meaning is going to be the dark clouds made us worry. So the word ominous means dark. Number 3. The meadow was truly an idyllic scene. Beautiful flowers bloomed in the sunshine. A clear stream bubbled, and deer quietly grazed. Now, it's okay if we don't know what the word idyllic means. We crossed it out because we have to plug in our possible meanings, which are peaceful, amazing, warm, memorable. But first, good readers know that we have to highlight our context clues. So they're in a meadow, like a field. We need to highlight that. That's going to give us a hint to what the word idyllic means. Beautiful flowers are located there. There's sunshine, a clear stream, like water flowing, and deer are there, and they're quietly grazing, like they're walking, running beautifully. All these pretty things are there, beautiful flowers. So this means that the word idyllic has something to do with how beautiful flowers, sunshine, this meadow, and this clear stream are all part of this nice scene. So is it peaceful, amazing, warm, or memorable? Let's plug it in. The meadow was truly a peaceful scene. Okay, it could be peaceful because sunshine is peaceful, water bubbling is a peaceful sound, deer quietly grazing is not chaotic, it's peaceful. So maybe. Amazing, let's plug it in. The meadow was truly an amazing scene. Beautiful flowers bloomed in the sunshine, a clear stream, and deer quietly grazed. Okay, amazing is great, but it doesn't really relate to how they're setting the scene for this meadow, so cross it out. Warm. The meadow was truly a warm scene. Context clues are beautiful flowers, the sunshine, the clear stream. It's not talking about the temperature. Memorable. The meadow was truly a memorable scene. Beautiful flowers bloomed in the sunshine, a clear stream bubbled, and deer quietly grazed. So it's either going to be peaceful or memorable. Now, which of those two meanings is the best one that fits the context of the sentence and the clues? Now, it's going to be peaceful. It's peaceful because the meadow has beautiful flowers, the sunshine. All these are signs of something that's very peaceful. Number 4, the nuclear war annihilated entire cities in an instant. We have to figure out the meaning of annihilated based on our context clues. So let's focus on using our strategies. Highlight nuclear war, instant, and cities. Meaning this war did something to the cities in an instant. So cross out annihilated, and we need to plug in destroyed, killed, revived, or hurt. If it's talking about a war, they're not going to revive something. The prefix re means again, meaning like they're not going to come back to life. So cross out C. The nuclear war, let's plug in destroyed. The nuclear war destroyed entire cities in an instant. Maybe. Wars do that. The nuclear war killed entire cities. You can't kill a city. It's not a person, so it's not B. Or hurt. The nuclear war hurt entire cities in an instant, or destroyed, which is a stronger meaning related to war. Destroyed. So it's not going to be hurt. Good job. And we can prove it by plugging it in. The nuclear war destroyed entire cities in an instant. It checks out. It fits how it's used. Number 5. My mom said that I cannot snack before dinner, but the plate of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies sitting on the counter was simply too tempting. Cross out the word tempting. Now, what do you think our context clues are in this sentence? How about those freshly baked chocolate chip cookies, and then the mom said she can't snack, meaning she cannot eat them. So, let's plug it in. It's either delicious, filling, fluffy, appealing. It's not describing the cookies, it's saying the situation she's in, or he or she is in. Let's plug in delicious. My mom said that I cannot snack before dinner, but the plate of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies sitting on the counter was simply too delicious. We already know they're delicious. He or she is talking about the circumstance they're in, so it's not delicious. Filling. I don't think this person has eaten the cookies. This person's thinking about doing it, so let's plug it in. My mom said that I cannot snack before dinner, but the plate of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies sitting on the counter was simply too filling. No, the person has not had any of them yet. Fluffy or appealing? Let's plug them in. My mom said that I cannot snack before dinner, but the plate of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies sitting on the counter was simply too fluffy or simply too appealing. We're going to cross out fluffy, and it's appealing, meaning that situation she is in is appealing. This person's deciding whether or not to eat them, even though they were asked not to. And that's how it's used in this sentence because of our clue words, can't snack, and chocolate chip cookies. So it's appealing. Tempting means appealing. Number 6. Laura was mortified when she showed up to the Halloween party in a zombie costume and saw that no one else was dressed up. Cross out mortified. Our context clue is no one else was dressed up, and Laura was in a zombie costume. So let's plug in our possible meanings for the word mortified. It's either unhappy, embarrassed, annoyed, or confident. Laura was unhappy, meaning not happy, when she showed up to the Halloween party in a zombie costume. We need to find the emotion that fits how you would feel and how Laura feels if no one at the party dressed up and she looked like a zombie. So we need to find a stronger emotion than unhappy. Embarrassed, let's plug it in. Remember, our strategy is to plug in our possible meanings. Laura was embarrassed when she showed up to the Halloween party in a zombie costume and saw that no one else was dressed up. Maybe. Annoyed or confident. Now, if you show up to a party where no one dresses up like Laura did, you're not going to feel confident. You're either going to be annoyed or embarrassed. So, out of these two, which one's the best meaning to what mortified means as it's used in this sentence? If our context clues are that no one else dressed up and Laura showed up in a zombie costume, it's going to be embarrassed. I know that I would be embarrassed. So good job. Make sure that you do what I do. Let's look at number 7. Mrs. Jones enjoyed watching the hummingbirds feed every day in her backyard. And so she was sad when they migrated south for the winter. I want you to cross out the word migrated, and we need to highlight our context clues. Hummingbirds. Now, Mrs. Jones is sad. They located to the south for the winter. So this is an action word. It's either moved, flew, revived, or drove. Now, which one can we eliminate? Can hummingbirds drive themselves to the south for the winter? No. It's talking about the hummingbirds. So let's plug in moved. Mrs. Jones enjoyed watching the hummingbirds feed every day in her backyard, and so she was sad when they moved south for the winter, and so she was sad when they flew south for the winter, and so she was sad when they revived south for the winter. We can eliminate revived. It's not dealing with them coming back to life. It's either moved or flew. They are going to be there for a couple of months. So when you migrate, you don't just fly there, you move there and you stay there. So out of these two, we have to plug in moved, and so she was sad when they moved south for the winter because they're going to stay there. So it's going to be the best meaning for migrated. Number 8. The two sisters could not be more opposite. Hannah was quiet and shy, while Lucy was more gregarious. Now, this is giving us the opposite meaning. So Hannah is quiet and shy. So highlight opposite, meaning what is the opposite of quiet and shy? It's either conscious, pleasant, friendly, outgoing. Now, Conscious means like you're thinking about the situation, you're going to think before you do something, meaning more of a personality like Hannah's, being quiet and shy. So it's not going to be A. Our strategy that we have to use to figure out what the word gregarious means, we cross out that word. It's okay to not know it. Good readers plug them in and check the context clues to see if it fits the sentence and how it's being used. So let's do that. The two sisters could not be more opposite. Hannah was quiet and shy, while Lucy was more pleasant, friendly, or outgoing. What's the opposite of someone who's shy and quiet? They're going to, pleasant is related to quiet and shy, and we need the opposite, so it's not pleasant. Lucy is either friendly or outgoing. Out of these two, which one is the more vibrant personality? Someone who's friendly or outgoing? If we're looking for the opposite of quiet, it's going to be outgoing. Let's plug it into double check. The two sisters could not be more opposite. Hannah was quiet and shy, while Lucy was more outgoing. It fits the opposite of quiet and shy, so good job. Number 9. In high school, most students take 4 required core subject classes. In addition, there is room in the schedule for students to select 2 elective classes, such as art or gym. Eliminate the word elective. I want you to make sure that you highlight your context clues. Schedule, art, or gym. So these classes are art or gym, and it's dealing with a schedule, and it's dealing with a class. So we need to plug in the words optional, fun, easy, or important. It's saying in high school, students take 4 core subject classes, like math, English, science, history. Those are the important subjects. And English includes reading. So these elective classes, like your specials, like art or gym, in high school, they're not going to be easy. So cross out easy. Sadly, they're not as important as your core ones, so it's not going to be important. It's either optional or fun. So the meaning of the word elective, as it's used in this example sentences, it's either optional or fun. Let's plug it in. In addition, there is room in the schedule for students to select 2 optional classes, such as art or gym, or fun classes, such as art or gym. Now, fun is a adjective. Some people might not think that those 2 classes are fun, so the best meaning is optional. Those classes are optional in high school, according to these 2 sentences. Let's look at number 10. I walked into the house directly into a narrow vestibule. It barely fit a small table to set my purse on, and the door into the living room. So I want you to cross out the word vestibule. We have to figure out what that word means by highlighting our context clues. Narrow, meaning something small. They're talking about a house, barely fitting a small table. So let's plug in staircase, bedroom, hallway, or aisle. I walked into the house directly into a narrow staircase. It barely fit a small table to set my purse on, and the door into the living room. So when you walk in, it could either be staircase or bedroom. I walked into the house directly into a narrow, meaning small, bedroom. It barely fit a small table to set my purse on, and the door into the living room. Hallway. I walked into the house directly into a narrow hallway. It barely fit a small table to set my purse on, and the door into the living room. Or aisle. In a house, you don't have an aisle. That's like an aisle at a store, like H-E-B, different aisles where you have foods organized, so it's not D. So out of staircase, bedroom, and hallway, what is the best meaning for vestibule If our context clues are they're in a house, it's small and really hard to walk by, it's not going to be bedroom. It's either staircase or hallway. So it's going to be hallway because I walked into the house directly into a narrow hallway. It barely fit a small table, meaning that cannot even fit the table into the hallway to get it to the living room. It's hard to get it through there. It fits our context clue, so we know it's right. At this time, your context clues practice page should look like this. Please make sure that you give yourself a 100. Please make sure that it also has your name, and please turn this in. Good job. Thank you for following along with me.